Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning.
All right, welcome everybody. Justice is a process here, so we are going to. This kind of came together very quickly. I was out actually on the road, and Ty gave me a call this morning. So we're going to start out as kind of some background to this, give you a little preview. He's supposed to be giving me a call at 8:30 tonight. So when my phone rings, we're going to have a live interview with Ty Tucker. So this kind of just came out of the blue. He called me. So anyways, I'm going to play this phone call for you, and we're kind of go from there. So give me a moment here. And if he calls in the middle of it, of course, we will adjust, obviously, to make this happen. So give me a moment here. Screen share. All right, so here it comes. Hopefully this will be coming through fine with audio wise. Hey, is this Ty?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Yeah, making it, man.
I hope so.
I don't got much time on my phone.
No, I got you.
But I figured you want to set something up, man, do like a live interview tonight.
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. How about we do it at 8:30, man? Because 8 o'clock is when they let us back out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that could be like a half hour just to make sure that man, I'm out by that point. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that should give you some time to schedule it, man, and let everybody know and all that shit. And then we go ahead and post it up on my Facebook. Apparently, man, everybody's been hitting up my Facebook.
Yep, I can do that.
But yeah, man, I got a lot of news for you, man. I did really good on Tuesday.
Did you? Good. I saw the motion because Christine had reached out because I don't know if you knew her or not, or anybody informed you, but my wife just had a baby this week, so I thought.
Oh, congratulations, man!
Yeah, man, thank you. Yeah, she was in the hospital all week. Boy, his name's Carson.
Right on.
Yep, and he was. It was a little bit of a rough. She had a C-section. She lost a lot of blood, so we were in there for a little bit, but she's home now. She just got home last night.
That's real good.
Yep. So.
Oh yeah, man, that's real good, man. I'm happy for you.
Yep. So I was actually catching up on everything. I was reading last night. I read your motion and everything, and.
Well, here's the thing is, man, he was an idiot about it, and man, I wish I could tell you everything, because man, they record these things.
Oh no, I know.
The thing is, but here's the good news is, man, okay, he didn't disqualify himself, he denied it, right?
Right.
But I got to continue it until October 15th,
Right.
And that's only to see if the higher court has made a ruling,
Right.
Because I already sent it off to the 3rd DCA for a writ of prohibition,
Right.
Now he's going to get ordered off the case because, man, his dumbass, man, I mean, he denied it for being untimely, When I still had 2 days left on the clock.
Right.
So the 3rd DCA is going to give it to me, no doubt about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so his ass is going to get thrown off.
Well, I hope so.
And the prosecution was going to save his ass, is what he was hoping. Because when I told him, man, I was like, I go to him, I'm like, look, I've already got a writ of prohibition, an application for a writ of prohibition ready for the 3rd DCA. I think it would be prudent if we took a continuance until we got a ruling from the higher court.
Right.
Well, he laughed at me. He's like, oh, well, they get a lot of those from the 16th judicial, and it's like it can take up to 4 months. I was like, that's fine with me. I've got plenty to do.
Right.
I'm working on a motion to change venue. I've got to get my experts lined up for to do. 4 months is fine with me.
Right.
Because of the execution being done. He was stuck, man. You should have seen the look on his face.
Oh, I would love to. I mean,
But anyway, man.
Yeah.
We can talk more about this, man, later. Like I said, I don't
No,
have
absolutely.
too much time.
No, I got you.
I wanted to set it up with you, man. See if you were down with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll call you back at 8:30. We can discuss it some more, man. At least then we can get a good 15 minutes in, maybe a little bit more.
Absolutely, man. That sounds great.
All right,
man. Well, hang in there.
Man. And congratulations again, man. And, that makes me so happy for you,
thank you, man. Thank you.
Carson, all right.
Yep.
Yep.
All right,
man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Talk to you later. All right. Yep. All right.
All right.
All right, so there you have it. That is the precursor to what we're going to be doing. So at 8:30, it's 8:30 my time right now. It's 8:30 his time because he's down in Key West, so we're all in the same time frame. So my phone's going to ring. We're going to have a conversation with Ty on air here. So, like I said, he called out of the blue. He called and asked to have some time. I was on the road because I was actually going back down to WV University to get my son, bring him up. To meet the baby and everything. And so it's all kind of been thrown together very last minute. Here it is, guys. Hold on.
Caller. You have a call at no expense to you from
Franklin Tucker,
an inmate at Monroe County Sheriff's Department. To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call, hang up. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hey, what's up, Ty? Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing really good, actually, man. I've been having a great day today.
Have you? Good.
I know. I mean, I'm in jail, so, man, it's
Absolutely.
It can only be so good, but, whatever.
Absolutely.
I just won the first quarter of the football game, man, so I got 4 soups, man, just before I got on the phone.
Good. Awesome.
Oh, man, hey, congratulations on your baby, man. I mean,
Thank you.
That made me happy, too, hearing that, man. That's a good thing, man.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to you and your wife.
Yep. Thank you.
That's real cool.
Yep.
And I had the guard pull you up, man, for a second there, just so I could see what's been going on, man.
Right.
I mean, I haven't been able to watch anything or see anything, man, since I've been locked up. Man, looks like you've been running me quite
Dude,
a bit.
hey, man, listen, we've got all sorts of stuff going on. I've got Chad Sebelia's deposition coming up. I've been able to get AI to read out these depositions and produce it. I've got Rory's trial, so I'm about to air that.
Man, I've got the complete, man. I got all the complete transcripts.
Yeah, I've got all of it. I got it. I asked Lauren to send it to me, and she sent it, and I got it all on AI. And also, I don't know if you're aware, but she also gave me access to make sure the YouTube channel's running okay. So I'm overseeing that, and when you get vindicated, I'll make sure it gets back to you so you can have it.
Actually, I thought Becca was taking care of that.
Yeah.
And by the way, man, are we live right now?
Yeah, we are. Yes, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Just want to check, man. Anyway, but Becca's been a big help, man. And she's not feeling too good right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully, man, hopefully she's feeling better. Hopefully everybody can wish her well. And she also, man, she sent me a surprise, man, snack pack today too. So, man, that's another reason I'm all happy.
Nice.
So I got, because I got a honey
All right. Yep.
But, yeah, man. No, plus, I mean, I'm just jazzed because, man, look, the way things went this week are great. You know,
Awesome.
a lot of people, man, they're looking at the docket, man. The docket doesn't exactly reflect what's been going on. You know what I'm saying? Not that I can see it very much. I mean, I have people who will send me pictures of it and that kind of thing. But at the same time, man, it's not like I can just go and check it anytime I want to.
Well, they've been delaying things a couple of days as far as like the minutes and stuff. Because every time there's a hearing, I'll check it and go on and try to read the minutes. But the other thing they did a couple of times on your motions is it was funny. They excluded a couple of pages, and one in particular was your motion to dismiss. It was now I don't know if it was intentional, but it happened to be pages that were discussing things Judge Morgan was doing in his court. That.
Oh yeah, probably.
And it was like they didn't get scanned in. Yeah.
Did they publish the motion to disqualify?
Yes, and that's what I was reading last night, and I read that, and of course they did publish the full.
What's the date on that? Just out of curiosity.
The date on that is. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up right now. Hold on. Let's see here, Monroe.
Man, Judge Morgan, man, hated that shit. He had no idea it was coming, right? Because they pulled me in. They gave me like a half hour, man. I mean, like literally, they were like, "Tucker, get up, you're going to court." Right?
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, fine. And this is supposed to make up for the one that he canceled on
right, which was abruptly canceled, right?
Right, exactly. It was canceled. Like, I mean, literally, I was supposed to be on my way on transport, man. They just called me, called up the guard, and they were like, "Tell me he's not going. Tell me he needs to call his lawyer with the line." Whatever, whatever, man. But the thing is okay. So they pulled me up, man. They pulled me into court, and I hit him with the motion to dismiss. I mean, not motion to dismiss, the motion to disqualify, right? And he sat there for like 45 minutes going over this thing. He probably read it about 5-6 times, right? He's like sitting there, he's like, that kind of thing. And right. It's like, okay, but eventually he denies it, which I was expecting, right? So he goes ahead and he denies it, but he denies it for being untimely, right? And the thing is, man, okay, you have 20 days, and man, from the time of discovery, from the time you discover, the last showing of prejudice, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I go ahead and it's on, August 2nd was then when I did the discovery, when we had our last hearing, right? So so I still had 2 days left on the clock, and he's trying to rule it as untimely, right? So the third DCA is going to give it to me.
Right.
He knows this. Actually, he knows he's not going to be the judge, man, as soon as the third DCA gets a hold of it, right? So what I did is I told him, I was like, well, Your Honor, I went ahead and assumed that you were going to make that decision. So I went ahead and filled out an application for a writ of prohibition against you, and I'll have that off to the third DCA immediately. And I think given the nature of the motion, we should take continuance until we get a ruling from the higher court, right? Which he laughed at me at first, and he was like, "Well, they get a lot of these from the 16th judicial, and it takes about 4 months." And I was like, "Well, that's fine with me, Your Honor. I got plenty I got to do. I've got a whole motion to change venue I'm working on, and I got experts I need to line up for trial, all kinds of things going on. So 4 months is fine with me." But then he turned to the prosecution, right? And he's like, he's expecting them to bail him out, right? He's like, "Well, does the state object?" And they're like, "No, we're fine with it." And he was stuck. So he was stuck. And he had to, he gave us till October 15th. But okay, on October 15th, all he's going to do is see if there's been a ruling from the higher court, right? We're not doing anything until we get a ruling from the higher court. Because if you read my motion to disqualify, it's pretty harsh.
Right. Yes, it is.
And that's only from one hearing. That's actually one day.
And it's pretty disturbing too with
for me the entire time.
With what you laid out in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, dude, he's keeping me from the court paperwork.
Right.
I can't even get the warrant, man, that got me in here.
Right.
I could have wrote a writ for habeas a long time ago if I had that. But he's keeping me from the document.
Really?
See what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but how are you? Yeah, exactly. How are you supposed to? I saw that in there because, and you asked him about the documents, and you said he leaned away from the microphone and said,
and I've been asking
you're not getting the documents from the court. Well, who are you supposed to get them from?
No, I'm not getting any of the court orders. I'm not getting any of the notices. Nothing.
Well,
He told me I had to get it through discovery from the state.
No.
It's my staging job. I can even see what they're going to respond.
Well, there's
a job to give me the court documents.
And they have a requirement to give you these documents. I mean, that's a requirement to make you aware when a motion's filed and orders filed, and because you're the attorney of record, you have to have it.
It is, but how am I supposed to file for relief if I can't get the documents to show the appeals court what's going on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what his game has been. But see, that's where the motion to disqualify is different because, okay, by doing that, I'm in control of that because I'm the one who has the original motion.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, and then, it was nothing for me to send it to the third DCA. All I had to do was write up the application for the writ. You know, and they're definitely gonna throw him off this case. You know? So once he's done, by that time, okay, I'll have the motion for a change of venue.
Right.
So I'll get that one too. Right? Because, I have a conflict with every entity in their legal system. I've got complaints against them with every, outside agency. I've got lawsuits going against them. They know, it's not a question of whether or not I'm going to sue them. They know I'm suing them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I shouldn't even be in this jail.
That's right.
I'm suing the sheriff. I'm suing the sheriff's department. Of course they're going to make it so that I can't get can't get what I need to prepare for trial. It's ridiculous to think they would.
Yep.
They want me to lose.
Exactly.
Okay. Because I went all the way to the sheriff with that one. That was funny too, because I actually had to, how you have to maximize out your grievances,
yes.
what I'm saying, before you can bring it into court.
Right.
And so I went all the way up to the sheriff, with these complaints. Look, they're trying to give me, this is what I get, man, to go pro se here, to fight a homicide case, right?
Right.
They give me 4 legal pads, 2 of the little golf pencils, and 4 flex pens per month, man, to fight a homicide case.
Well, that's what?
That's what I get.
Well, how come then, and you need to raise this issue or look into it, but I mean, Sarah Boone is going.
I already did.
Did you?
Look, I already did. And man, not only that, I was actually going to do a motion for an ROR, man, based on these issues.
Right.
Because, the bottom line is okay, yes, I waived my right to counsel, but that does not mean I waived, my right to effective assistance. It doesn't mean I waived my right to be able to prepare for trial.
Well, and you need to have a computer because
trial is
there's electronic documents. I mean, there's videos and things that you need to be able to have access to. They need to provide you with a computer because you can't. The state doesn't get to see your work product.
They did budge on that, right? Yeah. They budged on that. I can go ahead and watch videos and I can watch audio. I think I get it for like 5 hours a week.
Oh, okay.
And in my case, that ain't shit.
Right. Yeah, no.
The bottom line is, man, I can watch video and I can watch audio, but they won't let me copy it for exhibits.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. I mean, dude, we have one pencil sharpener in the dorm. When that thing breaks, I'm screwed. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even when I go to do my copies, man, look, sometimes I've had it take a week for me to get copies back. Why do you think it takes me so long to put a motion in? First off, I have to hand write the damn thing, right? And then I got to put in for copies, which can take a day or two, man, usually, right? And then I have to go ahead and submit it snail mail, right? Which takes about 10 days for it to reach the court. Or at least before it shows up on the docket. It's about 10 days from the time I send it to the time it shows up on the docket. And when you're talking about a 20-day limit on that motion to disqualify, that means I had to, start immediately after I got back from the hearing. Right.
And you got to handwrite it, and you got to, Jesus. Wow.
Yeah. So, it has not been easy, man. And, man, look, he's been doing everything he can, man, to try and tie my hands behind my back. And, man, the one thing about coming back here, I'll tell you what, man. Look, remember I told you, man, many times, man, I'm not by myself. I'm not alone.
Right,
here,
right.
And this has been quite the education, or re-education, I should say,
of people that are
people they do this to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
there's other people in here, exact same circumstance. They're facing murder charges, and man, there's no evidence.
Yep.
Matter of fact, there's one, this guy Sean Chittister, right? And him, man, okay, with him, it's Danielle Malone, right? You remember Danielle?
Oh yeah, Danielle Malone. Absolutely, we do. She's the.
Well, okay. He's with this girl. He's got this girlfriend he's seeing, right?
Uh-huh.
And she goes ahead and commits suicide, right?
Right.
Well, man, what did dispatch Danielle tell him to do when he called up 911?
What's that?
Pick up the gun and secure it.
Which puts his fingerprints on the gun, and now, yep. Wow, and puts gunshot residue potential.
2 years fighting a murder charge.
Wow.
And then they have the recording of her telling him to do this.
Wow.
And yet he's been sitting here for 2 years now.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm not the only one, man. This place is crazy. Oh, and here's the other one. This one happened 2 weeks ago. So there's a kicker for you. did I ever tell you about my theory about the helicopters and the Trauma Star here and how Rick Ramsey was using them to run cocaine from here to Miami?
Yes, you touched on it. Yes, you did.
Okay, guess what? They indicted 4 people, man, 2 weeks ago.
Did they?
So
wow.
It's a matter of time. It's going to lead right back to Slicky Ricky.
Well, that's good. I mean, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just funny I was able to predict that 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Well.
Anyway, because I talked to a reporter from the Key West Citizen, and man, when I called him, he told me what happened, and he was like, I can't believe you were right.
Well, hopefully that builds credibility with. I mean, with these people, or especially the reporters, that because that's what we need, and we need someone to pay attention, because it's like, you know, this needs attention. Now, I have a question for you. They claimed because this was covered in your motion, they claim they have body worn camera of Pitcher. Okay, and I've been through the depositions. I went through Pitcher's deposition.
Body worn camera of what?
Of Pitcher's body worn camera from Pitcher of Rory's missing 3.5 minutes.
Right, and then
it doesn't exist. Right? Well,
for 7 years, I've never seen that.
Yeah, but why were you? One of the things that stands out to me, because I was going through the depositions and recording them, your attorneys were questioning him, Pitcher, about that. So if Higgins doesn't have it, why would they be making an issue of it in a deposition about it not existing? So there's the evidence it doesn't exist. And then did they produce it? That's what I was going to ask. Did it ever get produced? Because they said they were going to produce it in the minutes. Did it ever come in? No.
And not only that, okay, if you read my motion to disqualify,
right.
Mansfield, the way he handled that.
He yelled at you in disrespect.
He lost his shit, right? He told me straight up, he's not going to give me, and he's not going to give it to me. He told me that flat out in court.
Well, you should be able.
And I was like, and I asked for it specifically because I know they don't have it. Same thing with my uncut interview. They say they have a version of my interview that's uncut.
Right.
You know, and you and I both know that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, have you?
Anyway, hold on. I'll call you right back.
Yeah, no problem. Sure thing. Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So we'll be back on with him. He's going to be calling me back. So let me try to jump into the chat here, see what's going on here. I'm sorry, I've been focused here. Defense Rest, I see you in there. Welcome. Let me see here. And Defense Rest, can you fit? Okay, let me see. I'll see if I can get a. Let me see if I can get a. What's that, Christine? Any questions you guys have, put them in the chat that you want me to try to cover. We have limited time, as you can see. He gets 15 minutes a call. So we ran out our first 15. It looks like he's going to call me back. So, and he's got to go through the whole process again once he calls back. So, let me see if we can get a thing here. Give me a moment.
Unknown caller.
I don't know what just happened. It cut off. Hopefully he can get back, calls me back again. It was going. What the heck? I literally was answering the call and then it went away. So I don't know what is happening here. All right. Hopefully he calls me back. All right. All right. So, yeah, absolutely, guys. So, what's your question there, Christine? Can you tell him to get a lawyer? I hope he gets a lawyer. Well, we will discuss that because I want to talk about what happened with that. Hopefully, like I said, he just tried to call me. I don't know why it didn't go through here. So hopefully he can get back on with me and we didn't waste a phone call. I hope he's able to redo it. Daggone, what the hell happened? But as you guys can hear from his description, they're playing hardball. They're playing the games that they are because they need. He expected this. We expected that this is what was going to be happening. Here it is. All right.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Franklin Tucker.
an inmate at Monroe County Sheriff's Department. To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call, hang up now. To block this call and all future calls, press
5.
or say 9.
5. So,
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hey, man.
hey, man. All right.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay, man.
You know how it is in jail.
Oh yeah, there's. I know you. I know. Yeah, I know how that goes. So, yeah. So I guess we were talking about what were we talking about? I guess the situation with
we were
the.
talking about the motion to disqualify.
Yeah.
Judge Morgan.
And then we were talking about the missing 3.5, the missing 3.5 minutes that you said they did not.
The missing 3.5
They never. The
minutes,
states
and
never
they
produced it.
Chopped up video.
And it's chopped up. And then the other thing too is you need to pursue, or have you pursued, and make sure that goes in as part of your attempt to. Are you trying to disqualify the prosecutor's office as well for their actions? I thought I saw that.
No, actually, man, that's going to be part of. Okay, a lot of people mistake what a change of venue actually is. People think, man, it's just moving a city.
Okay.
That's not what that is.
Okay.
Right. What the change of venue does is, man, okay, it's going to remove everything from this county and put it to another county.
Okay.
Which means I'm going to go to either Miami-Dade or I'm going to go to Broward or some other county.
Right.
Which means, okay, the prosecutor is no longer in charge of the prosecution. Right. That's all done. And
right.
Dennis Ward is done. Same thing with the judges here. They're done. Same thing with, man, the entire county, the entire case. I actually will be moved from this jail to a jail in whatever county it goes to.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotcha.
So, it literally removes everything from this county and it moves it over to whatever other county. And I guarantee you, when it goes over there, they're going to look at this case. They're going to look at the history of this case. And, yeah, they're going to drop this case. I'd be 90% sure of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, even if they didn't, they're not going to. They have no vested interest in it like they do down here.
Correct. So they're going to present it fairly without the BS, right?
Same way.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Which means I'll tell you right now, man, if I get it out of this county, which, man, it's looking very, very good for me to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I kind of lucked out, man. It sucks being locked up, right? But in some ways, it's been a godsend because it's given me the evidence I need to go ahead and get that change of venue.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, man, once it goes out of this county, hell, I'll tell you what, man, I might even take a lawyer again at that point.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, that was going to be one of the things I was going to ask you about. Was I know they appointed you a public defender, correct? Because that was kind of shady the way it looked like it happened.
That was a mistake, man. It was a mistake by the clerk's office, but they tried to, right?
Well, Ty,
all happy about it.
Was it a mistake? Well, see, my thought on it was it was an attempt for them to, because my belief is Morgan's position, Morgan's job is to essentially protect the record and create a record that you can't, if you get convicted, that there's going to be no appealable record. And one of the things,
he's definitely been messing with the record.
Well, one of the things that I thought was going on here was they appointed you an attorney. See, what I think they were doing was they appointed you an attorney to get you to fire the attorney and then waive that as an issue, because one of the issues I saw coming in was they arrest you. You end up in a situation where you're now divorced. You're going through a divorce. You're unable to access funds, but you don't qualify for an attorney in that period of time. And therefore, it creates an issue down the road that they could say, like, what are they doing here? They bring you in, and then they're depriving you of They're depriving you of supplies. They're depriving you of access to experts, basically because you can't get indigency at that point. So then they throw you this attorney on accident. So then you fire the attorney and it takes it away. And that's what I saw them kind of trying to play that game.
Well, I even tried to argue that in my arraignment, man. And man, the thing is my arraignment, if you want to call it that, man, it's not even an arraignment. I didn't pick up a new charge.
Right.
But when he put that $3.1 million bond on me,
how does he justify that?
My wife is divorcing me.
Yep.
Huh? I was like, there's no way I'm coming up with $3.1 million.
How did he justify $3.1 million?
You guys know damn well, 8th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, it goes ahead, excessive bond is the same as saying there is no bond.
Right.
So you made it so that, man, I couldn't get out. And you did it on purpose.
And not only that, but Florida.
They had me arrested on trumped-up charges. It was because I didn't even violate. If you even read the violation, they say I showed up.
Yes, and you passed.
The violation is saying that I didn't appear.
But not only that, but Florida case law states specifically if you would have had a contested that bond revocation is the absolute last thing because bond is not meant as a punitive thing. It's meant to secure your.
No, it's not.
It's meant to secure you to come to court.
Violation in and of itself.
Yep.
That's a fourth. I'm sorry, 5th and 14th Amendment.
And Florida case law is very clear on that aspect, at least from my layperson's perspective.
But the reason I didn't argue that, I actually was going to argue that. But you know what? I was like, no, Morgan's not going to give it to me.
Well, no, Morgan's not going to give you anything. No, Morgan's going to deny.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like, no, disqualify his ass.
But what you've got to do, Ty, is what you're doing with Morgan, because I believe Morgan, and he's done this from day one, when he got you to waive the speedy trial and he got you to do all this. I believe you've got to fight. Like I know you said before previously, you're like, I'm not worried about appeals. In Morgan's case, you've got to assert every right you can. You've got to protect the record, and that's going to frustrate the guy. And
don't get me wrong, because you notice I'm going to the third.
I'm ecstatic that when I heard that. Because I was informed of that, and I said, absolutely.
The only way I'm going to get this done.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, whoever the next judge is going to be, they're going to be just as dirty. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing is, man, whoever it is, they're going to try and deny that change of venue.
Yep.
Right? And man, I'm going to have to go back to the third DCA and get them to approve it.
Yep.
That's how this is going to work.
Yep.
Right? But the thing is, man, you're absolutely correct, man. That record is important.
Yes.
That's why when he lied on the record, it's like, no, I know how dangerous that is.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, since we're limited on time.
Yes.
Here's the other things I've been up to.
Okay.
I went ahead and I sent off a letter to the bar to try and reopen the complaint against Colleen Dunn because that's being closed out in September. I think I'm pretty sure Lauren and I don't talk at all really, but the last thing I said to her is I wanted her to go ahead and see if she could get it reopened, right? And the reason is she put a lot of work into it. It's to help other people. And,
right.
Straight up. I mean, they're going to go ahead and close it out forever. Come September, and she's the original complaint. So I'm hoping, and from what I've heard from Becca, she did go ahead and contact them and try and have it reopened.
Good.
So we went ahead and reopened the complaint against Dunn, and then I went ahead and the JQC, the Judicial Qualifications Commission, I actually sent away the complaint on Judge Jones. And all they should have to do is watch the trial.
Yep.
I mean,
well, have you also filed?
Should be thrown off the bench.
No, have you also filed a complaint against Alvarez and Mansfield for lying in their opening statement or closing argument? You cannot.
I can't.
Well, because they.
Okay.
The
way the bar works is, man, they're not going to take a complaint on an open case.
Right. Well, I mean, but they lied to the court. Which is a absolute issue that what I mean is doing it in conjunction with throwing them off the case. Yeah. Because you need to get them, you need to get them tossed out because listen, Vinny Politan himself raised issue with their ethics when he said they lied, like they knowingly lied to the jury. Yes. Well, I'm just saying. And then we were fighting about that in court. That was actually what we were fighting about before the motion disqualified. Because that to me is going to be something that when they look at it.
Remember though, I don't have to worry about throwing them off. Right?
Okay.
Because if I get the change of venue, they're off anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just mean it would.
They're done anyway. It doesn't matter. Then I can go ahead and do whatever I'm going to do.
Well, you may if you start to go after their bar card and just start filing stuff, it may make them back away and say, you know what, we just want out of this case. We're
actually, except that they're not the ones I need to go after. And actually, here's the one I am doing, and I didn't get to this, is I did talk to Kara, right?
Okay.
And I'm trying to file a lawsuit against Dennis Ward,
okay,
the attorney.
Right, yeah, you definitely need to do that, yes.
And this is for defamation, right? This is when they announced. Remember when they announced the retrial?
Yes.
And you can find it on Facebook. You know, they have the thing where they announced the retrial, right? Well, he goes ahead and says, proof positive that I actually did this crime, right?
Right.
You can't do that.
No.
He doesn't. You know, he's not allowed to do that. That's defamation all day,
Right.
right?
Right.
Well, the thing is, man, okay, he gets immunity for what he does as a prosecutor. He does not get immunity for going ahead and making, press releases to the public that are defaming me. He doesn't
Right.
get immunity for that. So I'm trying to go ahead and get Kara, or if she doesn't want to take it, I'm going to get some other lawyer to go ahead and file suit against him. You know what I mean? Because, man, it's like, okay, he's the one who wants to burn me. It's not
Right.
Alvarez and Mansfield.
Right.
I mean, they're the tools of, man, they're his tools that he's using, yes. But it's Dennis Ford all day. He's the one that, man, has been maliciously, man, just coming after me.
Yes.
Right? He's the one that wants to burn me. And, man, he's the one who's going to keep up with this crap. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, fine. I'll go ahead and start the lawsuit now, because that's what he's afraid of, right? He thinks that if he convicts me, he's not going to get sued, which is stupid, right? He's done so much shit that, man, look, you're not getting out of getting sued, buddy. I hate to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? Even if you manage to convict me, civil rights violations, you know this as well as I do. 1983 lawsuits, it doesn't matter if they convicted me or not.
Right.
You're still violating my civil rights.
Yep.
It doesn't make no difference.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So, I mean, it's all pointless, And, man, look, he's going to end up, man, you talk about somebody who cuts their nose to spite their face. Jesus Christ. Because, look, man, this is all going to blow back on him hard now. You know what I mean? That's how good this week was. Because, man, by getting that motion disqualified to the 3rd DCA, oh, yeah, now they're going to, man, go ahead and hammer Morgan. And as soon as he's off this case, guess where, man, I'm going with him? He's going.
Oh, I hope you do, because what he,
right along with Jones.
Well, the fact that the way he revoked your bond, I mean, that should be looked into 100%, because that was such an extreme move.
The history of just dude, the little bit he's been on this case, the few months he's been on this case, whatever, 6 months, 7 months he's been on this case. That's why I wrote that letter to him, right? I wrote that letter to him. I was like, man, you've been a bull in a china shop.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're worse than Jones.
Yep. Oh.
And man, but not anywhere near as smart as Jones was.
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, at least Jones tried to maintain, man, some illusion of, man, propriety.
Yep.
This guy, man, doesn't even care.
Yep. Well, that's what I mean. He is so outrageous that it's like he has gone to the point that it's like he's just blatant, and he literally believes it's like he just says, he really, I think, kind of is taking the belief that he doesn't think you have the ability to do things to bring it out. So he's just like, I can do whatever the hell I want. And I think he's been led maybe to believe that, and he's made a mistake.
Think about even the trial, man. They've been getting away with it so long, right? But even with national TV coverage there, and man, the whole world's seeing it through the internet, they still can't manage to do the right thing and actually do it the right way.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now, that's one of two things. Either they're so used to doing it the wrong way, they don't know the right way anymore, or they just don't care because, man, they're like, screw all you. Who cares what you think? We're going to do what we want. Now, I don't know which it is, but both of those are sad and horrible.
Yes.
And I'm sitting in a room, man, filled with 100 other guys, man, and let me tell you, they all come to me now. I mean, and Lord knows I'm the jailhouse lawyer to go to nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
I guarantee you are, man.
Lawyer, but But I mean, I'm like, what's the thing they got, right?
Right.
And
No,
let
absolutely.
me tell you, for 2 soups and a chip, man, I got you.
Yeah.
But anyway, the bottom line is, though, man, one of the things I see in all these cases, right? One glaring hole in all of them, no evidence. Literally almost every case I look at, man, that's the biggest problem. No evidence. How many of them are using?
How many of them are attempting to use jailhouse snitches like they did with you? Because that was something that was a common.
They do that all the time.
I was going to say,
They do that all the time. It's common.
Yep. That's what I thought.
That's what I figured. Try another one with me.
Well, yeah, but Ty, they can't. Look, they might try, but how ridiculous would it be when you've been as vocal as you've been? Yeah, I mean that would be.
If they try, it's like, look, there's a million people who know about my case, man. Good luck with that.
No, I mean, listen.
But then here's the other problem, okay? Because man, here's what their whole play is, and this is why man getting a PD is so bad.
Right.
It's because literally, man. I mean, you're talking about, the PDs might as well work for the state because man, they all want to leave you here as long as they possibly can and get you to take that plea deal. You know what I'm saying? That's what the deal is. You've got people sitting in here on an open container for 6 months to a year.
Well, here's the thing, though, Ty. If you get a PD, right, you can there's a network of people out here. We can reach out to the PD. Like once you get a lawyer, I can reach out to that lawyer and say, hey, listen, I'm, we want to talk.
Right.
And
I get that.
Ty,
The problem is you got to understand they're working against me.
Well,
they don't care what you guys have to say. You know what I'm saying? They would be working against me, and I give up all my rights if I do that.
Well,
if I go ahead and get a PD, I'm not in charge of the case anymore.
I understand.
Anyway,
yeah.
man.
I got you, man.
I haven't got enough on my phone time to keep going.
No, I got you.
I'll tell you what, we'll have to do this again.
Yes,
sometime
for certain.
Soon,
Yep, absolutely.
And, tell everybody, give everybody my love. And
I will.
Look, it's looking a lot better than it was, man, not too long ago.
All right.
We thought this was going to be horrible. Oh, by the way,
yes.
Yeah, the suicide rate is still high here.
Is it?
You might want to check that one out again.
All right, I will.
Since I've been here, so.
I will.
Anyway,
well, man, listen, you hang in there, man, and just know we're out here fighting, and we're going to continue, and we're going to continue to bring it. Absolutely,
I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, we're going to keep going. I mean, we're going to go to your home.
All right, cool.
All right, man.
Cool, 'cause I ain't gonna give up.
Don't give up. Nah, that's what I'm saying. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Keep fighting.
Oh, hell no, man.
You know what I mean? I know. Yep.
One thing I can do is fight.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'll let you later, man.
Yep. All right, man. Talk to you later. Yep. All right. Bye. All right, y'all. Whoop, shoot. Hold on. Apologize if I made a loud noise with the mic. I was just kind of adjusting it away from my phone there. I had the phone on there. So there you have it, guys. Live interview with Ty Tucker. And let me get caught up here. So did you, Defense Rest, did you get my link? I didn't see you pop in, but let me see what's going on. I got to catch up. I apologize. Once he gets on there, I know his time is very tight because these calls, he was paying for these calls, everyone. So, I mean, you saw that. He called me this morning and said he wanted to set this up. That was actually the first time I've talked to Ty, not on a text message or email or something like that. So, you guys heard the entire exchange. But let's see what we have to say here. We've got, want to help Ty out. There it is. Okay. The link won't load. All right. I don't know what happened there with that. Defense Rest. Like I said, this kind of came up very quickly. We will try, hopefully next time we can get a panel on and Ty, some people can come in and we can all, get people to talk. As you know, Ty had a lot to say. But let's see here. What do we got? Let's go in here. Pamela says, Franklin Tucker got his life on the line for himself as well as the people, exposing the corruption in our courts, and I respect that. This happens on a day. Absolutely it does. Pamela, they made their story fit. Can Ty subpoena Pitcher? Yes, he can, Defense Rest. In fact, Pitcher is somebody that could, yes, he can call Pitcher. Pitcher is investigator in the case. It's just one of the issues. In fact, we're going to go in. I'm going to read a document because I pulled it up, and this is something that just popped up on there, and I'll read it to you guys. And this kind of goes right on to the right on to what you were asking. So let's see here. So it's a letter that he wrote. My name is Franklin Tyrone Tucker, and I am a pro se inmate who needs to get ready to go back to trial very soon. I'm writing the clerk's office because during my first trial, I was not incarcerated and could request the clerk's office to issue subpoenas through the e-file system. There was a very nice supervisor who helped me to make sure I got my subpoenas for trial last time, named Katie. Hopefully she or someone else can tell me how to request subpoenas for my witnesses now that I'm in jail. Do I have a subpoena for each witness for you to issue, or just give you their info with the time, date to appear, and have you fill out the subpoena? If someone can get back to me with the process, that would be great. Thank you so much. So to answer your question, yes, he can subpoena witnesses. No, he hasn't been subpoenaing witnesses because guess what? They haven't told him how to do this. And that is not a lot. Yes, he's pro se, but the judge specifically is supposed to be helping him not do these things, but provide him with the instructions, and then it's his job to do them. And the court is supposed to make accommodations. And since he's indigent, they're supposed to provide him with the opportunity to have access to a computer, writing utensils and things of that nature. And this judge has actually told Ty Tucker when he had no access to writing utensils, he would not consider anything that wasn't written down. And what Ty was trying to tell him at that time, this was in the minutes actually, or this was in his one of his motions. And he was saying, I don't have anything to write stuff down, so I can't file motions. Eventually, obviously, you heard they did get him some pencils. And as I told you, that was exactly what they're trying to do with Ty, is extend this out, get him to take a plea, Pamela. He was talking about that. You heard it straight out. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And Earth Gal, you're welcome. Flash Fan, Court TV is planning on covering his Ty case. I super chatted with Vinny Politian's stream a few weeks ago, and he said yes. Okay. Well, Flash Fan, thank you. So, because we need to listen, Vinny does a Vinny Investigates. Can you super chat him in and ask him? I've asked him. I've tried to send it out. I've never super chatted him. Maybe I need to go over there and do that. Why in the world has he not investigated this case? Why is he not looking into it? Why is he not digging into it? Why is he not making this a priority? He followed it. He knows what they did to him and the lies they perpetuated in his opening statement. Why is he not putting some pressure down there? Because that's who we need. I mean, look, my channel's got, I've been around a long time. I got 30,000 subscribers, and a lot of those have come from short form content and vertical content. So I'm not able to reach the broadest base of people. I can do certain things and try to get the case out. But Vinny can make this a national story, and it needs to be a national story. And that's what we need. So we've got to continue trying to do that. Direct him over here to hear this interview and hear from Ty himself. This is a case that is worthy of being. Hopefully it won't come to Court TV having this stream, because hopefully we'll get dismissed. Well, I don't think Flash Fan is going to get dismissed. Like Ty said, I think he's realistic in his expectations. What he's hoping for is to get a new prosecution team on there that will give a new judge on there that will hopefully give us a fair hearing. And that's what we can hope for. Thanks again for doing that, Flash Fan. Absolutely. Yes. Defense Trust. Thank you for 100%, Flash Fan. Thank you for doing that. He is good at answering super chats. Awesome. Then I will head over there and do a super chat then to him and say, hey, why haven't you covered this? And Flash Fan says, Jody, of course, we need to expose this corruption. Yes, we do. We absolutely do. So, guys, this is, like I said, here it is. Share this stream. Let people see it. Hear it from Ty himself. Give me one moment, guys. I'm going to mute myself. Sorry, my son Connor, he came out to say hi. Yeah, I mean, this is something that is absolutely got to be on the forefront of everybody's mind, and figure out how can we get people to, you might see his little corner there. I apologize, guys. So Cam says, they're breaking news in my case. Nick Whitney has been terminated from the law firm. FYI. Okay, awesome. Christine Fortunato says he needs to get a lawyer. Well, Christine, as you heard, he's not willing to get a lawyer right now because he doesn't trust that they're going to do anything with his case. And listen, we are going to be airing. I just finished it through AI. I was reviewing the case. I wasn't able to monitor it as close because I was using it on my iPad to do everything while I was in the hospital and there waiting with my wife. There's a lot of downtime when you're going through all the things we were doing. And listen, it's astounding how horrible Rory's attorney was, and she was a public defender. I mean, you will not believe how terrible the cross-examination of John Travis Johnson was. And believe you me, there was a lot of stuff that she should have gotten into with him, a lot of fertile ground to cover. About the lies and the inconsistencies of his, in his recitation of events. And it was terrible, absolutely terrible. So when I air that trial, and it's going to be coming soon, because basically, kind of Paul, sorry, he took my phone. When I air that trial, and the next thing I'm going to be doing is the deposition of Chad Sibilia. And then the next thing I'm going to do is, it's going to be, 4 days of transcripts, or 4 volumes of transcripts. I'm going to do it 1 volume at a time. I'm going to be trying to sit when I air that trial, because I want to sit with it and listen and react to it. It's going to be read in AI voices, as I've had some review time people telling me it sounds like Windows, the old Windows voice. It does. It's not perfect, but it gives us a chance to listen as opposed to just read. And then it's going to be up on the screen. But when you hear this trial and you hear the defense that Rory put up, and this was a defense by the public defenders, it is absolutely horrible. I mean, it really is. It's some terrible lawyering. And not to say that Rory had, there was Rory's linked by DNA, but one of the things that stands out to me in that in all the times that John Travis Johnson has testified is, and of course it starts with the night that he tells the story to Penny Phelps, is he puts the knife in the wrong person's hand, and the DNA tells the story on this. And he does that because he's lying, and he was stuck with a story that he continued, which is Rory had a club, and John Travis Johnson, he says Ty had the knife. And they really don't focus too much on that. I mean, that is one of the focuses, one of the things that Rory's defense counsel brings up. But that's one of the big things that really needs to be hammered home is the inconsistencies in John Travis Johnson's statement. And the reason for that is because he's lying. He's absolutely lying. But Mansfield says, ignore it. It doesn't matter because of the principle theory. But it does matter, especially in Ty's case, because the only evidence in Ty's case that exists is John Travis Johnson, because testimony is evidence. And then you've got to corroborate that evidence. Yes, there is actually, Jody. Yes, there is. In fact, I played it in my video. Let me see if I can. That might be the quickest way to find it. Hold on a second. Give me a sec here. I'm going to find my old video because I think it's quicker to go that route than it would be to try to go on the website Free Ty Tucker and do that. So, anyways, give me a moment here. Content. Let's go back to search across production. Whoops! Holy cow! Ty Tucker. Let me see here. Florida is the show all. There it is. The truth about the knife. There it is. All right. So let me play this. Go here. All right, everybody. Welcome. Justice in the process is here. And we're talking tonight another Tyrone Tucker video here because there's lots to talk about. As you should know by now, closing arguments occurred today. And we're going to be talking about an issue that came up in closing arguments. All right, so let me go forward here on this. Let's go here. Truth about the knife. There it is. Okay, I have it right here. The interrogation that Ty Tucker had at the hands of Matthew Pitcher and Penny Phelps. And this is actually exactly what is being referred to by Mr. Mansfield and what Ty Tucker was told by Penny Phelps. Okay, so that's me giving my intro to it. This is the video right here where if you're not familiar with this issue, closing arguments just aired yesterday. I re-aired the entire trial. I have my original airing, and then I re-aired a clean version, cleaned up with all the breaks edited out of it in a very clean way for everyone to watch it. If you want to go in and not have all of the original broadcast of myself, it's a clean version meant to be able to really dig in and watch it if you want to and get through it really quick. But this is the interrogation video that Penny Phelps tells Ty Tucker about the knife. Now listen to this, and this is how Ty Tucker, because what the state did is they got dirty. They got, once Ty brought in Paula Belmont's testimony, they said they had a right to bring in the section of her testimony that dealt with a conversation she and Ty Tucker had at McDonald's To which she said, oh, yeah, the blood must be on the knife. He said, no, they said Matt Bonnet's blood's on the knife. And the state claimed that was evidence, that was the strongest evidence against Ty Tucker, because there was no other way for Ty Tucker to have known that Matt Bonnet's blood would have been on that knife. The problem is there is another way, because what he was referring to when he told her that was what you're about to hear, because he had just come out of talking to the police all night, and it was this exchange here that you're about to hear. So anyways, I think I explained it a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and listen some more to this. And this is what he ends up communicating to Paula the next day. Take a listen.
That's on our side of the story.
Okay.
In the walk from Laurel Avenue on 2nd Street to where you live, we found in lot 72 a knife.
Okay.
Okay, on that knife is blood, and on the handle of that blood, latent DNA. That's going to the lab.
Well, it ain't gonna be me.
Okay, and a little further up the road, in the back of a boat parked alongside 2nd Street, is a mask.
Not gonna be me.
And the mask has a very weird, freaky, scary face on it, but it's also made out of foam, and on the front of the mask are 3 blood smears.
Okay. Not gonna be me.
Okay, and the mask has a really nice elastic band that goes around the back of the head, and a nice foam pad.
All right, so you heard it. Okay, this is the moment, the big moment here that Mr. Mansfield's talking about here, or at least referencing here. This is what Ty Tucker was communicating to Paul Belmont. Here's what you need to understand about this moment. At this particular moment right here, Ty Tucker, okay, did not know what exactly happened at the treehouse. To his knowledge, his understanding, until he saw Paula Belmont at McDonald's, to his knowledge, he'd heard there was a man stabbed at CVS. That man, he understood, or I believe it had come to be understood by conversations with other people, that it was Matt. So when he's told there's blood on the knife, in his mind, when he's getting told this, the conversation he's having with the detectives is about the man who got stabbed. He's not believing he's talking about. So from his recollection, when he's going to be retelling this story, the way this is being received by him. Now I understand they're not saying it's Matt's blood, but at this point they haven't gotten into who was stabbed or what happened, or Paula got stabbed there, somebody got their neck cut, all Ty Tucker knows is there's a knife, there's blood on it, and he believes this is in regards to the man that got stabbed. So when he's going to McDonald's the next day, and again, at the same point, Paul is not the most reliable witness. So we don't know what exactly was said. But the next day at McDonald's, when he's talking to her, he's communicating this conversation right here. Okay? He's not communicating something that he learned because he was there at the treehouse. He's communicating to her what he believes this lead detective has told him, which is there's a knife with blood and there's DNA on the handle. And if you notice here, he shakes his head and says, not going to be me. And you notice when he says it, one of the things you want to look at when somebody says an answer, if they're lying, their head may shake up and down when they're saying no. Okay, because subconsciously they're going to go into subconscious. When you see him answering these questions, it's no. The whole body almost shakes no. It's that he's very firm in his answers. He's very firm in what he knows he did and didn't do that night. And he's saying, I'm not a part of this. He says, I'm not a part of this. I might be, I might have been over at the warehouse. I might have been sleeping. I may have partied with these people, but man, this wasn't my stuff. And he says it in there. Listen, this ain't me. I got nothing to do with whatever the hell happened up at CVS. He's still believing it's at CVS, not at the treehouse. He doesn't even know what happened. Okay. He's not even All right, so I'm also so let me show you the clip here. Let me show you this clip. I'll show you the original because there's actually more to it, and that way you can hear the entirety of the clip. That was what I had put out, and this was when I was reporting on that. That was at the very, very, very beginning, the very, very, very beginning of my coverage of this case, and so here we go. Let's listen to this here.
I never went and bought cigarettes. You know, fucking.
Hold on.
Matter of fact, I bought 2 packs of cigarettes. Fucking. So man, fucking.
All right, hold on here. Let's go in here. I've got to find part. All right, where is? Hold on, I thought I had the right part in there. So, second interview. I think I'm on the. That's the first interview. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. It's part 27 of the second interview. Hold on, I thought I had it queued up. All right, so let's go to Ty Tucker second interview. Where would that be? Ty Tucker interview room. Is this it right here? All right. Do we have? Oh, there it is. Okay, part 27. Here it is.
Into a marriage that was loveless is the road that the treehouse is on. It happens. Now, the really disconcerting part of all of this, into a marriage that was loveless because it was.
Okay, so what we're about to watch here, this is the entirety of it. I think, like I said, I grabbed that little clip out of it. I was showing it during the trial, but I want you to listen to this whole clip. It's because this is very significant. This clip right here. The jury was never told it existed. They were never told this conversation happened. I want you to hear how it comes out because this is extremely important. We're going to listen to it because this is what the state says that the knowledge of this alleged blood on a knife, and you assess. If you were listening to Ty Tucker's being brought in. He's being told. This is what he's being told by Penny Phelps. Notice how Penny Phelps goes on she gives herself a whole, just like she did with John Travis Johnson. She starts talking and talking and talking. Listen to what she tells him and see if you would walk away thinking she's telling him that the individual that passed away's blood would have been on that knife. And that's the whole issue. And the jury should have known that the only way was not Ty Tucker being the killer, that it was that the police had talked to him about this, had this conversation. But the issue is that Ty Tucker cannot bring a prior consistent statement in. It's considered hearsay. If he wants to testify, he has to testify in court and testify in the moment, and the jury considers what he says. The state can bring in a prior inconsistent statement for impeachment purposes, and then for the defendant, because he incriminated himself, they can play his statement and then present evidence showing that they contradicted that statement, which the state in this case chose not to. That's why Vinnie Politan had a big issue, and you heard me talking about this with Ty. They chose to not bring it in. Ty had no way to get this in. And on top of that, the statement itself was broken up because someone got into the system and destroyed the statement and broke it up into bits, meaning it was no longer potentially admissible in the court because of the fact that they couldn't verify that they had the whole statement in its entirety, which the court would require a statement to be verified in that way in order for it to get in. So the state keeps it out. And then they turn around and introduce Paula Belmont's testimony. And that's fine. They could have put that in and let the jury infer or somebody picked up on it. But then they go and argue the argument that they made that this is the single strongest piece of evidence against Ty Tucker, knowing, and that's why Vinny and his gang were so upset and incensed because they said, this is wrong. This is a lie. And prosecutors shouldn't be acting like this, especially when they're dealing with a pro se defendant. And they literally kind of pulled a fast one over on this guy because they didn't get it. They didn't get the statement, and he didn't see this coming, and he didn't know how to handle this or what the appropriate way to handle it was to get this in. So, anyways, with that said, I wanted to introduce it. Let me play this for you because you want to hear this 7 minutes here.
Arranged marriage. She grew up recognizing that there were good in people, and the biggest thing she ever said to me, and what I learned and took from her, was that there's always 2 sides to every story, and you should never judge a person based on one version of the story. that no matter how thin you roll the piece of paper, there's two sides to the paper.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you what I have so far
Okay.
on the side of the story.
All right, and to answer your question, Earth Gal, no, it is not normal that they would chop up an interview like this. It is not normal that they would, that would happen. In fact, if you refer back to, and again, I love it that I have all these things up because I can speak about this when people say, you're just saying, no, I have it on the, go back and rewatch Matthew Pitcher's deposition. It's discussed in the deposition, and he states that he gave Colleen Dunn access to the electronic file system where that interview and other interviews were stored. Remember, Rory's got broken up, and there's 3.5 minutes missing, which the state has been unable to produce, which you heard Ty talking about today. He was unable to produce it because they claim there was body-worn camera footage, but body-worn camera footage doesn't exist. And if it did exist, why would Cara Higgins and Jerome Bellarado be questioning witnesses about where it's at and raising that as an issue in his motion to dismiss if the body-worn camera existed, which it doesn't. It's never existed, and it was never given over to his attorneys. Now, they're claiming it was given over. They're claiming they've handed discovery over. And essentially, the state is trying to say, well, it's not our responsibility. We already gave discovery over to his attorneys. But actually, it is the court's responsibility to ensure that Ty Tucker is in possession of all his discovery, especially since it was the court that decided to lock him up unconstitutionally and illegally for a bail violation that didn't actually exist. Anyways, and that's exactly right, Flash Fan 85, and they're not allowed to do that. Anyways, let's get back to this. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
That is not in your favor.
Okay.
And then give you an opportunity to fill in the gaps, correct any misinformation you think we may have, and tell your side of the story, because this will be tonight your first, last, and only chance to give us your side of the story, because beyond here, Ty, you know how it works. Attorneys get involved, and then the attorneys tell you not to talk, and
that's why I'm trying to talk to you guys.
And so I know you're being straight.
Well, because, man, that's the thing is, man, I ain't got nothing to hide. That's why, man, otherwise I would have been like, man, if I thought I needed an attorney, I would have been like, look, I need a lawyer. You know what I mean? But I know I haven't done anything, you know? So, anyway, but
okay,
give me your side.
I'm going to let you know a couple of things. Detective Pitcher is absolutely accurate with the timestamp on the video. We have you on video walking on 2nd Street from where you live toward Laurel Avenue, which is the road that the treehouse is on, 8:11 p.m. At 8:15 p.m., the first call comes into 911 telling our dispatchers that a guy has been stabbed, he's dead, and he's laying face down in a pool of blood.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay, just hear me out. So you have 4 minutes from where you're at to where this thing happens. Now, the really disconcerting part of all of this is at 8:19, 4 minutes after we have a report of a man being killed, we have you and Rory on video walking back from the treehouse toward.
Okay, so a couple things that you just heard here. She met, and this is why you need to understand, because all of this is said to him in a vacuum. So she's telling him about the man that's passed away. Now, that's the Keys Electric video that she's referring to, which turned out to be John Travis Johnson. So I want you to understand that, because I am going to address one question I heard in there, and that is the why. We're going to get to that in a minute. But it's important you understand what he's hearing, and I want you to hear it, and I want you to consider the perspective he's going to have. He's just been told, man died, bloody, stabbed to death, okay? She says it's him, he's denying it. Listen on.
That's got to be impossible, though. Because, okay, you know, like I said, man, freaking, I wish I had Travis here, because, man, freaking, again, man, go back and check the Tom Thumb video.
Okay.
Because that had to be somewhere around that same time. Had to be. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, freaking, you know, I remember, man, freaking, the whole thing with the police lights and stuff like that was not long after we went and got cigarettes. So, man, freaking, man, how can I be, man, freaking a Tom Thumb buying cigarettes while I'm supposed to be over there at the CVS? You know what I'm saying? Now, I do, man, like I told him, man, freaking, I have a vague memory of, man, freaking walking through the, the drive-through at the CVS.
Okay.
You know, so man, I may have gone there earlier, and I could see that, you know, but I would know I didn't go there later. I know I didn't go there later, but and I may have gone there earlier, but I mean, literally check the video,
Okay. Now, Ty, let me tell you some other things that Detective Pitcher hasn't shared with you that I'm going to share with you.
Okay.
That's on our side of the story.
Okay.
In the walk
Mm-hmm.
from Laurel Avenue on 2nd Street to where you live,
Mm-hmm.
we found in lot 72 a knife.
Okay.
Okay, on that knife
Mhm.
is blood,
Mhm.
and on the handle of that blood,
Mm-hmm.
latent DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to the lab.
Yep. Well, it ain't gonna be me.
Okay, and a little further up the road, in the back of a boat parked alongside 2nd Street, is a mask.
Not gonna be me.
And the mask has a very weird, freaky, scary face on it, but it's also made out of foam, and on the front of the mask are 3 blood smears.
Okay. Not gonna be me.
Okay, and
Okay, so again, you heard this in the last video, but I want you to hear it in its entirety because it's important. When I played that in that video long ago, I didn't start it at the beginning because I was just wanting to explain. But this is the part that when you hear this in its entirety, she starts out telling him a man was stabbed. She does not mention Paula Belmont, right? That man is Matthew Bonnet. She says there's blood on the knife and there's potential DNA on the handle. That is implying that the blood on the knife is Matthew Bonnet. That takes what Alvarez and Mansfield told the jury was the strongest piece of evidence of Ty's guilt and absolutely raises a reasonable doubt as to it meaning anything at all. In fact, it means nothing at all once you consider that the captain of the police department was telling him this. Not only was the captain telling him this, of course, it was also encapsulated around information that was absolutely proven later to be incorrect because John Travis Johnson was the guy that they saw walking on that video. And Ty's saying he doesn't know. And he's also telling them that the Tom Thumb video is key to proving when he was, what he was doing that night. The Tom Thumb video that Pitcher has and had and eventually gets, and it gets deleted. And then they later claim, well, we think we may have got the wrong day and the wrong time. But that Tom Thumb video, not to mention also, where is the Keys Electric video? Why, one of the questions, and this came up when I was rewatching some of the testimony and when I was rewatching the trial as I was re-airing it, is Ty was questioning, he kind of missed an opportunity. He was questioning the guy and he said, how did you get the videos? And he kind of asked it. But the real thing is other video had to exist because there was no way they would have known that anyone was walking at the times that they saw on the Keys Electric video. Because remember, the Keys Electric video shows Rory and John Travis Johnson walking back after it happens. And not only that, but then the John Travis Johnson of him walking towards the treehouse and to Tom Thumb occurs also after the incident would have occurred. So there's no way they would have known any of that would have been on there or where those timestamps were or that 7 to 8 minutes that they ultimately played at trial would have been it. They were not going to go in there and say, give me those times because those times were after. So they had to have gotten a broader, bigger version. And of course, the question is, where is the Keys Electric video? Because that would have shown if Ty Tucker was returning, it would have shown it. If if Travis was returning in his truck, it would have shown it. None of that was captured or brought to the jury. And the question is why. And the reason why is because all of that contradicted what John Travis Johnson's statement was. And they needed to only bring the parts in that they could then use and say, okay, there it is. That's him walking, da-da-da-da-da. Where's the rest of the video? And that is an absolutely valid point. So anyways, let me play the rest of this.
The mask has a really nice elastic band that goes around the back of the head and a nice foam pad in the front.
Right.
It's loaded with DNA.
Okay.
Okay? Now, all that stuff's going to go to the lab.
Cool.
Okay? And if
Because,
you're-
man, I'm confident.
Okay.
Totally confident.
And we have wounds on our victim that are consistent with the knife that was found in lot 72.
Okay.
So what I'm letting you know is that the story and the details of the story are not stacking up on your favor.
Well, I'm just saying, all that stuff that you just told me, test all you want.
Okay?
You're not going to find anything, man, for him, with my, with anything of mine on there. You know, I mean, granted, you know, if a mask came from the house, man, it might have, man, a fingerprint on it, man. Who knows? I may have, man, touched it. Same thing with the knife, man. I may have touched it. But I guarantee you, man, frickin', you ain't got no DNA of, man, frickin' mine on the inside of that mask, and there is no, man, frickin', I never grabbed a knife and did anything to anybody.
Okay.
So, man, frickin', I mean, straight up test away. Because, man, frickin', I'm confident, man, it'll exonerate me.
That's good. Glad to hear that.
You know, so, you know, I mean, the timestamp with the video, I mean, like I said, that one, go check the one with Tom Thumb. I swear to God, man, frickin', I was there with, I know I walked with Travis that night to go get cigarettes. You know?
Travis seems to be the alibi of choice.
He is, isn't it? That's amazing.
I wonder how he's going to keep his story straight.
It's not.
Because he's going to have to alibi with how many people now?
But man, the thing is, man, for real, I mean, you can check the video with Tom Thumb. And I
Would
know
you find
can.
it odd that both you and Rory are using Travis as your alibis?
Not really, because, man, he lives
And
in
not that you guys are
No,
together.
it's because he lives in the same house, you know what I'm saying?
But you guys are using him, like, well, I was with Travis, not Ty, and, well, I was with Travis, not
Mine's
Rory.
easy to prove.
So was his, according to him.
Well, I mean, again, mine's video.
But here's
Right.
where,
You know?
maybe I'm wrong, but my bet is you are right.
Right.
I am going to find you
Right.
at Tom Thumb.
Yeah.
And I bet Rory's right. I'm going to find him at Tom Thumb. And I bet you one is before and one is after. And that time in between is when the murder happened. I'd put money on that.
I can't put money on it because, man, again, I don't know what time it happened and all that other stuff. But I do know I went with Travis to Tom Thumb that night, and I know, man, frickin' all that chaos that happened was not long after that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, frickin', it can't be, man, too much time in there. You know, I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you about the timestamp. But other stuff, like I said, I guarantee you, man, frickin', you're not gonna find anything, man, frickin' mine on that.
Hi, if you leave here tonight, and that's still debatable, but if you leave here tonight, your mission, your homework assignment, I want you to walk through your neighborhood.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you know, there's no less than 16 cameras in that neighborhood.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me.
So you're very obsessed with.
I want to give myself, what is the best thing that I could do to give myself an alibi? I'm usually not right after murder.
All right, so there you have it. You heard it. And if you're listening to that, you can see exactly why Ty Tucker would have walked out of that room, not knowing that anyone else was injured, not knowing that anyone else was hurt, and knowing that they were talking specifically about Matthew Bonnet, the guy that died, and saying there's blood on there, there's a knife, and he had no idea that, remember, he said that, he testified to that. He had no idea that Paula, had gotten her neck cut. And he felt really bad when he saw it. But anyways, there you have it. So that is extremely important. And the other thing I wanted to leave you with, the reason why I played it all the way to the end, is because you heard Penny Phelps, from Penny Phelps' own mouth, talk about 16 cameras were in that area. And out of 16 cameras, we got one camera angle from Cosme's. We got one camera angle from Keys Electric, and everything else was missing. Where are the 14 other cameras? And if I was Ty Tucker, I would want to find a way to have my interrogation video played, even though there might be some things in there that are talked about that were not true and that he might not want to. But when you hear 16 cameras out of the mouth of Penny Phelps, and they're using that footage, that's 7 minutes, is probably perhaps some of the most exculpatory information that you can have in terms of blowing away the state's case that they claim they have, which is basically John Travis Johnson and the alleged knife that has DNA on it that he should have known about. And in there, she raises the very issues that this jury should be asking as they're looking at the evidence, which is, Where is the camera footage? Where is the camera footage, and why doesn't it exist anymore? And then on top of that, why doesn't John Travis Johnson's story match up with the DNA evidence, with the camera footage, with what happened and what occurred? And the answer to that question is because he's lying. And because the real truth of the matter is John Travis Johnson and Rory Wilson went to the treehouse that night. Perhaps there were other people there that were involved. Perhaps Todd Quinn was involved. Roosevelt Washington was involved. We don't know how it all went down, but we know that there were two guys that walked from that truck. We know that one of them was Ty Tucker, one of them was not Ty Tucker. One of them was John Travis Johnson, and one of them was Rory Wilson. And they went in. Things broke bad. John Travis Johnson flees the scene. He's perhaps the killer. And if I'm Ty Tucker, he has to confront him. And again, I hope I have another conversation with Ty, because that's what I want to make sure that as we get closer, I'm sure we will. And we're going to try to orchestrate it and put it together. I've got to, again, try to get, and I meant to ask him about that to see if there's anything on his end that, because I'm having issues with trying to get them to allow me to deposit money on to make calls. So anyways, I've got to continue to pursue it. But he's got to confront John Travis Johnson and call him a killer, because he is very well the killer. He is very well the individual that knifed Matthew Bonnet to death, and they're letting that man get off with 5 years. And the state of Florida is willing to do that. And the question you're going to ask, which is a nice segue into the final thing I'm going to talk about before I have to get off here. My wife's here. We've got a whole lot of things going on. And she needs my help. I've just brought my son home from college, and I jumped on here because this was important. But the final question, the question that everyone asks, and the question that is burning and that I have been trying to investigate for the last, we're going on 8 months since I have been aware of this case, is the why. Why? And I'll tell you why. Here, and again, I have so much more we're going to be doing. So stand by, guys. More content's coming. We're going to be going vertical. We're going to be doing as much as we can with this. But the why. Why? And the answer to that question is this. And you have to go back to the interrogation video that backs up what I'm going to tell you. And the interrogation room video is not the interrogation room. I'm talking about the hot mic interrogation video. It's 2 hours of listening, and I've enhanced it, and you can hear it even better. And I'm going to roll that video out. But it is of Penny Phelps, Danielle Malone, Matt Pitcher, and a couple of other people talking. And you get to hear Phelps. You get to hear Phelps talk about the fact that she has no evidence on Ty. And she gives you insight into what's going on with her. Essentially, it's this. She believes Ty Tucker is good for this. And many police officers and many people have always had the means to it. They develop a feeling or what they think is an innate sense. In her eyes, based on what she saw on the Facebook page, based on the fact he was at Metro PCS, based on the fact that he was a white guy, and she knew that Todd Quinn had identified a white guy as being the individual that ran out first, and then Rory ran out second. She believed Ty Tucker was that white guy. She believed DNA evidence and eyewitness testimony was going to develop it along with video cameras. So in her opinion, as you hear her say in that interrogation room, we got to figure out how we're going to make a case against Franklin. We got to figure out how we're going to get enough probable cause to arrest him, because we know when all this bears out, he's going down for this. Now, this is before any of the video evidence starts coming in. This is before any of that happens. She moves on him. She's concluded he's the guy. And for her, the way it is. And then what happens is she brings him in. And then what happens is Ty Tucker manages to do what he's done many, many different times and throughout this case. She doesn't like him. And he pisses her off. And essentially, what ultimately happens here is evidence starts to come in, and it becomes clear that John Travis Johnson is involved in this, possibly even the guy, which turns out to be the guy, because she believes she has Ty, remember, eventually on some videotape. She genuinely believes Ty is walking with Rory. But it becomes clear that John Travis Johnson's truck is there. There's video of him in the CVS parking lot. And it becomes clear that John Travis Johnson is also a party in this. And then it becomes even clearer as John Travis Johnson becomes Ty, because the guy that's walking in the Keys Electric video is John Travis Johnson. The truck that shows up is John Travis Johnson's. If she goes, as she's going back, as they're going through this, they realize John Travis Johnson is the white guy. But here's the problem. Rather than admit she's wrong, Ty Tucker has pissed her off and made her so angry and so upset that she decides, I can't admit Ty's wrong. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in. We're going to proceed forward, because at the early stages of this case, she believes Ty Tucker was somehow involved in this. She believes the DNA is going to link him to this. She believes eyewitnesses are going to link him to this. And the problem is she figures out a way to arrest him by manufacturing the threats to April Walker, which turns out to not be true, by getting John Travis Johnson to implicate Ty. She gets the probable cause she wants. But the problem is Ty Tucker gets a lawyer. Ty Tucker turns out to not be a quiet guy. Ty Tucker turns out to have connections. Lauren Janae enters the picture. Ty Tucker eventually gets lawyers that can fight for him. Eventually, this thing blows up, and Ty Tucker starts pissing people off. And eventually, it's now become a situation where they would rather convict an innocent man than allow Ty Tucker to win and have to deal with him walking around saying, I was right and you were wrong. It is now an issue of she dislikes Ty Tucker so much. Dennis Ward dislikes Ty Tucker. Sheriff Ramsey dislikes Ty Tucker. Mansfield started out this case. If you actually go back and start looking at some of the stuff, and you look back at the Rory case, and you look back at the motion to dismiss hearing, Mansfield kind of wasn't as vindictive and terrible as he's turned out to be. Now he just straight out, he hates Ty Tucker so much. You heard what he did to him in the courtroom. He yelled at him. He screamed at him. He's denying him his discovery. He doesn't care that his bar card's on the line. Listen, it was on full display. They hate Ty Tucker so much. Alvarez hates Ty Tucker so much that he was willing to lie in his closing argument, as I just showed you. Lie, and it should be fresh in your minds if you were watching the replay of his trial, to lie in Ty Tucker's case to convict him because they hate him so much. This is about disliking Ty Tucker. This is about Ty Tucker pissing people off. This is about a police captain who thought she had the case figured out, who thought that it was going to work out, that Ty Tucker was this person. If you heard Ty Tucker, there's other people. You've got what he just reported to you. There's a man sitting in there who was instructed by Danielle Malone, who we all knew was God that had to be as incompetent as a 911 operator as she is as a detective, instructs the man to secure the firearm and move it, knowing that that's going to put his fingerprints on the gun, and then they turn around and charge him. Now, I don't know anything about the case, but I'm saying something like that alone makes you question. And absolutely, Flash fan, they do know Ty Tucker is going to raise hell. He's going to come after him, and I hope he does everything he's talking about. I hope it sounds like he's in great spirits. It sounds like he's feeling great. It sounds like he's bringing the fight to him, and it sounds like, listen, this guy, Judge Morgan, is one of the dirtiest, corruptest, most corrupt judges you're ever going to find. If you're listening, Judge Morgan, which I'm sure you are, shameful, man, shameful. Your behavior, I watched you in the early stuff. I watched you. You have a chance to undo something. Show that you are the individual. You served our country, but you're not serving our country, sending an innocent man to prison. Give this case a look. Go back and undo this. Do not be one of their pawns. But for you to deny a man his ability to write a motion and then tell him it's got to be in writing, but you don't provide him a means to write it. For you to deprive a man of discovery. For you to deprive a man of his due process, his right to confront, try to take away all of the abilities for him to fight is wrong. And you should be ashamed. And I hope you are held accountable. And you should be held accountable. And Judge Jones, I've rewatched the trial. Ty's right. Look, Judge Jones, Ty was frustrated with Judge Jones because Judge Jones wouldn't dismiss the case. And I've always said it. No one's dismissing this case. A jury dismisses this case. Judge Jones was very frustrated with Ty. You saw that. We just got off a 10-day review of the trial. He's very frustrated with Ty. He clearly let things happen that were not in Ty's best interest. He allowed the whole absolute farce of this whole knife thing to come in. But Judge Jones did have limits. I think he had gotten to a point where he really realized how bad this case was. And I think it speaks volumes that he got the hell out of the case. And he didn't retry this case because he knows. And if he is the man that I read that James Morgan claims he is, if he is a man with any conscience, Judge Jones knows what he's been a part of is wrong. He knows that. And James Morgan, you know that. And Joe Mansfield, you were a judge once. And if, as you said, Antonin Scalia lives in your head, well, you know what? You know what, Mansfield? Step up. Don't follow through with what you're doing. You know there's no evidence. You know that John Travis Johnson is, if that's the only evidence you have, and while you can pursue the case, you argued in that motion to dismiss. You argued, you said it out of your own mouth. Go back and rewatch what I put up. You said that your case relies solely on John Travis Johnson, and John Travis Johnson is a liar. John Travis Johnson doesn't even, while you said his statement was corroborated, you lied to the jury because it wasn't corroborated, because it's actually the main issue. One of the big issues is he claims that the white guy, which would have been him, why do you think he does that? Why do you think he does that? Because he wanted an out. And he doesn't, and he was lying. He was lying and lying and lying because he was told by Phelps that Ty is the asshole. So he put the knife in Ty's hand. But guess what? And Phelps thought that she was going to have DNA. And again, I got to play this. We're going to play it. It's going to be played this week. We got plenty of time now to get this stuff out. You understand what I'm talking about. And why she told him that, and then the DNA contradicted him, but they were stuck with John Travis Johnson putting the knife in Ty's, what he thought was Ty's hand, it's his own hand. But he did that because Phelps told him to do that, and then he was stuck with the story. And as a result, Mansfield stuck with the story, and the DNA contradicts him. And the DNA does not corroborate him, which tells you that John Travis Johnson is lying. And the question is, why is he lying? It is very sad, Carmen. That is some very sad results and statistics. Very, very, I mean, but, you know, look, we have the unique opportunity here to know that we have a guy here in Ty who is actually innocent. And there's a guy in there, I don't know, I joke with him, and he might be, I don't know, but he lives down in Key West. He comes in, his name's William Nichols. If you're out there watching William, I tell him he's Mansfield. He didn't show up in tonight's live, but I feel like we thawed him out a little bit. He was coming at us with stuff, and he was realizing, I think, too, that Ty Tucker is innocent, because Ty Tucker is innocent. So if you want to help Ty, share this live. If you want to help Ty, bring attention. The goal of this stuff, the goal of everything is for you to have a resource to come and say, go to this website, and you can say he's innocent, and you can tell him to come right here and get into my Ty Tucker playlists. And I've got the Ty Tucker, like I said, there's going to be playlists of all the depositions, and those are going to stay up here. And you need to send people over. And if they tell you you're full of shit, tell them, no, I'm telling you something that's backed up. They can come over. They can watch the videos. They can listen to the depositions. Tell them to go to Free Ty Tucker. Okay? Tell them to go to freetytucker.com and tell them that they're go over there and see the raw stuff. Come over here, watch what I'm saying. It gets backed up with all the raw data that's over there. So it says, I don't think Morgan cares what the public thinks it is. Well, he should. And I don't know why he's so invested in this thing. He's only been involved in the case very, very shortly. But again, he doesn't care about what the public thinks. I'll tell you why. He doesn't care about what the public thinks because right now the voice isn't loud enough. But he will care if we can crack the seal, if we can get Vinnie Politan involved, if we can get, and again, I keep going back to him, but I mean, he's a guy who already has acknowledged some of the issues. But if he gets involved, he's got a huge voice. If we get Law and Crime to take another look, they were, what's his name? It's their show that they have. Get them to profile the case. If we can get Dateline or somebody, but those are the two right now that could come back and take a second look, dig into this, and start raising some issues. But Vinny is a special one, and the reason why I come back to Vinny, obviously, I've watched Vinny my whole life. I enjoy watching him. But secondly, he's a prosecutor. And Vinny Politan, if he were to take a position, if he were to look at this and hopefully see what we see when we look at the case, and take a real honest look at this thing, and Vinny speaks out against this, it's going to, that's an undeniable voice. That's a voice that they can't deny. That is a voice that can get things done. And I really hope he does, because if there's sometimes, like my dad's always said, when you take cases, there's some cases you take, maybe they're guilty, whatever, and you're going to make money on them, right? They're the cases you're taking because of another case. And then there's a case you take because it's going to be publicity. And then there's a case you take just because it's right. Just because it's morally right, it's soundly right, and it's the right thing to do. And this is one of those cases. It shouldn't be about money, it shouldn't be about anything else, but what's right. And it's not right that an innocent man sits in Florida on a $3.1 million bond for passing his urinalysis, really on something that's really questionable about why he should have ever had it happen. And he was not given the correct procedures. There's abundant Florida case law that shows that there's a process that should have been filed. He should have been asked to come down to Florida and deal with this in a hearing. And if they wanted to revoke his bond, they could have. But $3.1 million bond, he never had the issue before. He had one other issue, and it was handled exactly like I just said. And Judge Jones called Ty Tucker down to Florida. They had a hearing on it, or it may have been by phone, whatever. But they dealt with it in a hearing. He was admonished to make sure that he didn't have any more issues with failing the alcohol testing. And they went on. And they had a trial. They had a trial after that where Judge Jones lifted all the testing during trial. And then you turn around, and this guy goes in, and within the first hearing, walks Ty Tucker down the road, waives his rights to a speedy trial, which could have potentially got this thing dismissed, and then turns around and revokes his bond based on a computer issue at the testing site that is verifiable, that Ty Tucker should have had the right to have contested and bring in and explain so that the judge could have had it. But the reality of the situation was this judge had his finger on the trigger and wanted to revoke the bond to get him locked back up so they could try to either railroad Ty Tucker into a trial by making it appear impossible that he can win by denying him his discovery, denying him the tools and things that he needs to be able to run pro se, and then at the same time force him into taking a plea, and hopefully scaring him into thinking, well, there's no way I can beat this case. And it's sick, it's sad, it's terrible. Pamela says he's lying because he got a sweet deal. Sing and you walk free. A life sentence he gets free. Absolutely, yes. They're talking about John Travis Johnson Carmen. Says, I try. All right. So we said, Flashfan says, we need to expose this corruption. We need to purge this corruption from the legal system. I agree with you, Flashfan 85. I appreciate you going to Vinny. Like, we need to get over there. We need to get on his show. I need to do the same thing. And I think I need to go super chat Vinny and say, listen, man, will you take a look at this case? Will you take a look? Why are you not looking at the Ty Tucker case? Why are you not reviewing this? And if you need a guide, go over and just check out some of the stuff. Check it out. You don't even have to put me on. I'm not looking to go on the show. I'm just looking for Vinny to independently review this and do it. If the rulings doesn't come back, do you think Morgan will continue the trial again? Well, if the Third Circuit green lights it and denies his motion, Morgan's on, and we're going to have a trial probably in November, because they're going to have a docket call on the 15th, and he'll set trial. He'll probably try to set trial in November, although it might be too late for a trial in 2024. So it'll probably be in January again. And then we have a defense rest, Jody. Let's see here. The owner of Cosby Marine testified he gave police full access to all CCTV video and only footage they presented trial. Well, right. And what they claimed is he didn't know why they took what they took, and nobody was able to say why they took what they took from it. And that was something that, yes, was absolutely brought out, because he told him that he didn't even understand his own system. So I believe they had the officer that went in there and took the footage, and Ty asked him, why was this the only footage? And he said he wasn't 100% certain why that was, or what happened to the other footage. And then you've got the CVS footage, which was gotten allegedly for the wrong date. And Danielle Malone says, yeah, we just never got a chance to go back and get that corrected. And the Tom Thumb footage was collected, but then it was self-deleted because it never made it from Pitcher's phone into the database, allegedly. And his phone went into some sort of auto mode and auto-deleted. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is. And then Karen Reed Trial 2. Yep, I know that's coming up in January as well. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to jump off here. I appreciate everybody that came in. Do your part. Share this broadcast. Hit the like button. Do what you can to try to get this out. I gotta stay within the bounds. It's easy to rebroadcast a trial. I cannot really rebroadcast a live. So I'm going to try to see what I can do as far as going live vertically, and at least playing the conversation of Ty and I by introducing the video, and then I'll take out the commentary part, so I'm not just replaying this video vertically because I'm not allowed to do that. I learned that the hard way. But we would try to do that to try to get more people to see his interview and hear from Ty. So anyways, appreciate you all. I'm going to jump off here, guys, and have a good evening. And be on the lookout. There's plenty of content coming to you. There's a lot of things you guys need to see. Specifically, I really want you to see Rory Wilson's trial and contrast some of the testimony you heard, because some witnesses that testified for Ty testified. There are some that never testified in Ty's trial. He's doing a good job, and that's what we can hope for. And, let's go Ty, guys. Anyways, talk to you soon. And as always, guys, until we talk again, let justice prevail.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes like